I was talking to a friend of mine who, over the weekend, who has a brand new job, right? And they were telling me, and they've been telling me about this job for the last about a month or so. And then so I asked them about being late. I'm like, because they don't have a time clock at this particular job where he's working now. Before he had a time clock to punch in, and the time clock will make him be on time. But now he's on salary, you don't have to be on time. Well, you should be on time, but you don't have to clock in, right? And so I asked, are you late? And they were like, yeah, I'm late. In a new position there at the job. Yeah, I'm late. I'm like, why are you late? I don't know. I oversleep or I just leave a little late. And I asked, well, how late are you at times? What's the latest that you've been? And they said 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how in the world? And they start hemming and hawing about it, making up little excuses. And I said, well, how are the other employees seeing this? He's like, oh, they're late too. Some of them are late. But they've been there longer, which still doesn't make it right? And I'm like, well, what kind of impression you think you're making on the boss? What kind of impression that they love the work, they do a good job, but they're late? I said, you don't realize the impression that you're making, even if the other people are late who've been there for a while, but the impression that you're making coming in late like that, it is a dirty impression. People who come late, they look late. You know, they look tired. They look dirty. They look like you just don't care. You know, and you can't respect a late person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, you have no impression, no idea the impression that you're giving to your boss. And I said, you know what? I think what you need to do is quit that job and go back to a time clock. That's where you have to punch in because you don't have the inner character or the strength to discipline yourself or respect this job so that you could get there on time. And I'm thinking they're going to say, no, I can do it, I can do it. They're like, oh, yeah, I think you're right. And I said, you know what, you can overcome this. The reason that it's happening is a flaw in your character. God is allowing you to see it so you can overcome it. He wants you to be as independent as possible. So this is something that you need to just work on. Set your clock a little early, get up, do whatever you do, and leave so you can be there on time. And I want to say it's so important that you be on time, and not just here, but at work, at events, at whatever. It's going to open your life up in ways that you don't even imagine. First of all, you set a good example for the rest of the world to see. That's going to open up opportunity and life for you. And secondly, you're setting a good example as a son or daughter of God because you're showing respect to whomever invited you or to your boss or the people around you because they haven't seen anyone be on time and work and appreciate everything about life, right? So I really want you to think about this late thing. You don't look good coming late. You look dirty. You look trifling. You just look lazy. You know, right? You look like I would never hire that person. Look at him coming in late. You know, you just kind of look at him and you think, wow, that's a dirty person. But just think about it. I'll make a little joke about it, but it's so important, especially as sons and daughters of God, because most people who are into the Bible and into God, they're out there preaching to other people about right and wrong, what they're doing. But these people are seeing you, and they know you're not what you're saying. And so you're not going to influence them at all. They'll even pretend that you're influencing them until they get angry at you. And then they'll say, you always trying to tell me what to do. Look at you. They'll gather this information to judge you with it. I'm telling you, you are being judged, even the ones that are closest to you. Because the judges, the children of the lie, won't always tell you what they feel until they get angry at you. Then you really see what they're thinking about you. And you could be walking around thinking you're setting a good example, you spoke the truth, you did this, and they're not even receiving it. We have to be that. We become sons and daughters of God. And to become that, then you live that. And again, there are circumstances that's beyond our control. I'm not like being crazy with this thing. But you know when you're not doing your best to be on time, wherever it might be. I remember when I moved to California, because I didn't grow up like this in Alabama, and the blacks were late. They would be late for church, they would be late for everything. So I started being late too, because they would say that it's CP time, colored people. Time, that's how colored people did it. And they would say that you're supposed to make a grand entrance. You're supposed to come in late. You heard that before, right? So you don't want to be there. They literally say you don't want to be there when it starts. Why not? If it starts at 9, I want to be there at 9 when it starts, just to show the person or people I respect them. It's so nice to be on time. It doesn't seem like much, but being what's right is so powerful. There's so much life in it. Being what's right. Just think, we're no longer children of the lie, of the deceiver, of the excuse maker, of the ones that came to bring you death. We are now children of the light, of the one that give life and give love. We're supposed to love one another. We're supposed to be that. And I urge you to start thinking about that. Just watch it. Don't make it a big deal. But be aware of what you do and know that we're supposed to set the example. All right? That makes sense? Anybody disagree? All right. Well, I hope that helped a little bit, because I'm having this talk with you because of what my friend said. He was like, no, I have to go back to a time clock. I'm like, are you crazy? You're supposed to say, I'll get this right. You don't want to go back to your weakness. You're supposed to have self-control. Let me take right here and then right there.